Okay, we're recording. So, welcome everybody to the first week of DSO13A, which is a big mouthful, but it's just the drawing class. Um, I think the first online session, what I'm going to use it for, just it's only week one, so just a general sort of Q&A. I'll walk you around campus online if you still had any questions. Jackson earlier wasn't quite sure like where to post the weekly assignments, the weekly blogs and all that kind of stuff. So if you don't know, it's on the left hand side under assessments and briefs submissions, and under assessment two, it's the very first one. Add your blog entries here. So this is where you'll be, and I've also got like a little explanation of how to post images, and this is where you'll be posting like the weekly drawing activities that you've been assigned. It's just a visual diary, and also use it as a space to just do your own personal drawing, sort of like whatever you happen to be interested. Oh yeah, like I like drawing cats. I like drawing birds. I like drawing rocks. I don't know, but you can use it as a place for your own personal explorations as well. You don't have to just be limited by what we tell you to draw, because that can get a bit um, I don't know. It can get a bit stale. Not everyone like the course has certain things. Oh, we got to draw this character. We got to do this thing. Got to do that thing. Draw a face. But I find like I personally would get kind of sad if I just had to do that and not draw what I like as well. So this is the space for you to check out stuff and post your work. Also, I found that like when you post in the blog section, when I try to let's say you ask for feedback and I write a reply, I found that you don't always get an email notification that I've replied to you. Um, so sometimes you can just direct message me like, "Hey, I posted in the blog. What do you think?" Or we can. Oftentimes, the weekly assignment is linked to the discussion forum. So when you post in the discussion forum, you'll definitely see my comments when I reply. So yeah. Does anybody have any questions, like general questions about like the interface or what's been happening this week so far?
No, not so far.
Okay, cool. All right. So yeah. So um, have you guys done the first drawing activity so far?
Oh yeah, I've
Is that
done them for the.
Cool.
Sorry, you go.
I was just saying, is that the self-portrait ones?
Yeah. Drawing from memory.
Is that... No, I haven't started. I've looked at it, but I haven't started it yet.
Sure. So how it's gonna work? Like, I'll just give you a sneak peek on next week's. Because right now, visible to you is only like session one. Session two becomes visible next Monday, and the discussion activity is to post your drawings from week one, and then we discuss. Sometimes it's usually like, let's say it's week two. The discussion activity is to discuss the drawings from the previous week. While continuing on with the new activity. So for your drawings from memory that you do this week, next week we'll be posting them in the discussion forum, and then we'll be, discussing what we can do better and all that kind of stuff. But for the guys who have done it, how do you find it so far? It's kind of weird, right? Drawing from memory.
Yeah, it's very hard to like remember what he looked like.
Exactly.
I haven't seen him in ages, so
Yeah, it's interesting. Like
it wasn't.
people like you see every day, or like just things that, oh, of course I know how to draw this person. When you try to draw it, it's like, oh my god, what's happening? Like it's so
Yeah.
a family member you see every day, you're like, that's not right, kind of thing. And basically that exercise is just basically to demonstrate how drawing from direct observation can be so very very useful, because like often when we draw from memory, right, things can kind of get distorted, and you can see how fallible your memory can be in terms of drawing. So it's helpful to have some visual reference there. And yeah, it's the very first week, so a lot of people are like, oh, I don't know how to draw faces yet, and all that kind of stuff. So it's kind of throwing you in the deep end, but it's okay. Let's see. I'm just gonna go through your, and all of you guys, you've posted in the discussion forum, right? Yeah. So Jackson, I know. Rihanna, Anna, definitely. Who else? Was it Amy? Did you write a response? Oh, you just did. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah. I just read this.
Yeah, last night.
Sweet. Yeah, I just read this morning. Yeah, cool. I like your drawing. It's cool. Right. Yeah. So, not the best at drawing. Good at drawing potatoes. Yep. Drawing people and creatures, comic book style. Yeah. So yeah, you want to learn.
Specialty.
Yeah. So I don't know. You can go far with potato drawings. I think. Like there's the side-eyed and happiness cartoon.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, like
Yeah, they're good.
they're just simple like stupid drawings, but they're so funny. You know, because like that's the thing. They get you on the humor level. Even what's the like Peanuts with like Snoopy and all those characters. They're super simple. Uh, Basically potato heads. But yeah, you need to learn how to draw faces and hands and feet. Um, yeah, feet are so weird to draw. Even myself now, like I don't enjoy feet. But yeah, hands. Yeah, hands are super important. Faces pretty straightforward. Um, yeah, so let's see. In about week 5, yeah, week 5 and 6 is all about like specifically about like human anatomy, all that kind of stuff. Um, week 4 we're gonna get into drawing sort of like form and 3D shapes and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, week 5 and 6 is definitely all about anatomy. Um, it's mainly focused on the body as a whole, not like specifically hands or feet, right? But this is something I'd like to show you guys. I have a Pinterest account that I use for all the student stuff, and I'll put the link. But it's basically just yeah. You basically go on Pinterest and just search my name, and you'll get it. Yeah. So Pinterest.com/Eddie Udo, and I've got a whole bunch of resources for you to check out. So you can do your weekly activities, which we assign you, but also in the meantime, like for personal studies, if you want, feel very free to go look through the Pinterest board. I've got a bunch of boards specifically about drawing heads. There's videos, anatomy in general, feet, hands, like it's all here. All this kind of stuff. So I would think that'd be very useful for you guys. I sometimes recommend like past students to go check it out as well. So all about kind of like drawing hands. So it clears up. Yeah, like breaking down hands, how to think about the fingers, how to almost take a sort of almost a mechanical kind of approach to that kind of stuff. And I find it really helpful. There's videos in there. We got hands, we got feet. Heads. Have any of you guys heard of the term like construction drawing?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's basically like you would have seen it like if you ever watched the what you call it, the like the making of the animation, or old Disney, behind the scenes when you see them drawing Mickey Mouse, or they always draw circles, and then it was like in blue pencil, draw a circle, then a cylinder, and all this kind of stuff, and they sort of build up the character from these very simple shapes. You've seen that kind of stuff. That
Yeah.
that's that. Yeah, of course. That's called, that method is called construction drawing. So basically, I think it's basically it's changing your way of thinking from, I think a lot of people, like, oh, there's an example right here. Yeah, okay. I can open it up. There's sort of, I think, when you're a kid, you see this example, right? And it's like, oh, how to draw a dog, or how to draw a horse, how to draw a bird, right? And it's just like, oh, just draw a circle, then another circle, and then draw a triangle, and then fill in the gaps, and then you have a dog, right? So that's thinking in a very sort of two-dimensional way, thinking with circles and squares and triangles, right? But construction drawing slash form drawing, it's all about thinking in three-dimensional shapes instead of 2D shapes. So instead of making things out of circles, you're making things out of spheres. Instead of making things out of like ovals, you're making things out of cylinders. Instead of squares, it's cubes, Instead of triangles, it's cones or pyramids, right? And that's the key, that's the skill to making your drawings look three-dimensional, making them look believable, like you could pick them up like they exist in 3D space. So if you base all your drawings off these 3D forms, right? Cubes, cylinders, spheres, and cones, and then and modify them, you can get this sort of three-dimensional look. I think, was it Anna? Was it you who? No, Amy. Was it? Which one of you liked comics or dynamic poses?
Yeah, that's me.
Yeah. So all this kind of stuff it's heavily used. If you look at all the How to Draw the Marvel Way books, it's all constructing characters and dynamic poses out of these three-dimensional shapes. So that sort of method is what I'm going to be pushing so heavily throughout this course. When I sort of understood how to think in these ways, because before I used to think in that two-dimensional way. Oh, it's just a circle. The problem is, right, like, let's say I gave you a horse, like how to draw a horse, from this one angle, and it's like, oh, just draw this circle, then draw this, and then connect the thing. And if I asked you, okay, sweet, can you move the horse head in a slightly different direction? You'd be like, oh no, I need to go find a different photograph completely and waste all this time. But if you can break things down to these forms, like, it's almost like you can see the matrix code behind everything. Like, I remember when I was a student, and like, I was learning this method, and I remember, like, you'll start to have weird sort of like revelations. You'll start to just walk around town and go, oh my god, that's a cylinder. Oh, that's a table. That's a cube. Oh, that's an elongated cone. All that kind of stuff, and you sort of like discover the hidden structure behind everything. You know, if you want to learn how to draw a car, right? All you gotta know how to draw is like two modified cubes, right? And like cylinders for the wheels, you know? Or a bus, just a big long cube, right? With cylinders for wheels. Um, the human head can be simplified, like the skull can be simplified to just like a sphere and like a cube for the jaw, like over here. So it's a really beneficial skill, and it's sometimes uh, it's more obvious to some people than others. Like, some people get it instantly. Some people, like, oh, like they don't quite get it. So if you do struggle with it, like in the weeks to come, like, don't worry about it. Like, chill out. It's all fine. It'll eventually like sink in, and once you get it, it's a very sort of freeing experience. Like, oh, I can kind of draw. If you can draw cones and cylinders and cubes and spheres in any sort of space, then you can sort of draw anything. So, yeah. that's kind of what I hope to teach you guys for this course. Are there any questions so far?
I'm good.
Oh, sweet, cool, cool. Yeah, this even if just speak up, just if you're all good. Let's see. Um, yeah, I think I asked about any specific goals that you guys want to get out of this, which you all said, which is great. Thanks for answering the questions. I can sort of keep everything in the back of my mind when I want to going forward, and yeah, and yeah, I also want to open it up and say, so yeah, like, you're doing the assignments you're told to do, but if you ever need help with personal drawings, like stuff unrelated to the course, oh, I'm doing this thing for a friend, I'm doing this thing for a commission, I'm doing whatever, I'm also if you post them in the discussion forum or your visual diary, like, I'm very open to helping you guys, and also to give you advice on that kind of stuff as well. And yeah, I think that's it for the moment. So we're at the end of week 1. So again, on Monday, you'll see assignment 2. What else? What else? What else? The final, your first big assessment, right? It's in week 6. Do you understand what that's about?
I haven't had a look at it, so
Yeah. So first of all, did you guys all watch the welcome video?
yeah, I have.
Yeah, sweet, cool. It's very simple. Basically, your first assignments, well, there's 2. They're both in week 6, and I'm marking you guys on the discussion forums. I'm marking you guys on your weekly drawing activities, plus make sure you guys do your own extracurricular drawings. Um, it's like the bare minimum is just doing the assignments, but I want to see you guys do stuff outside the box, personal practice, things that interest you. Studies of your favorite cartoon characters, studies of your favorite beach scene. I don't whatever it is, whatever interests you, your favorite anime character. There's other stuff, and as much drawing. Just draw. That's it. Um, so assessment 1, that's all your weekly activities and drawing research from weeks 1 to 6. The discussion forums, yep, just basically just marking your participation. If you are engaging with the discussion forums, posting your work, also giving helpful feedback to others. So, do you guys, have you guys, do you know the difference between criticism and critique? So like, so basically, like criticism is sort of just like, it's not very helpful. It's just like, oh, here's my drawing, and just being like, oh, that's shit. Like, that doesn't really help anybody at all. But like, a critique is something. Critique is more like analytical. It's like, hey, here's my drawing. I posted this. What do you think about my perspective, my anatomy, whatever? And the critique is more thoughtful. It's just like, oh, like, you did this thing well. I can see where you're going, but the perspective is a bit off here. Maybe and also maybe you can try this, offering some sort of solution instead of just saying that sucks, that's wrong, or whatever, which, like, that doesn't really help anybody. Critique is all about, yeah, I see what you're doing. I can identify this problem analytically, and here's my suggestion on how we can make it better. So that's how I'd like you guys to be kind of operating in the discussion forum. Um, it's like if you say like, oh, that's not very good, or even if you say like, oh yeah, sweet drawing, like that also doesn't help. Do you know what I mean? Like if someone just complimented your work all the time, right? You wouldn't really get better. Like you want that sort of honest feedback. You know, like, oh yeah, that's cool. I like it drawing, but you can improve on the hands. You can improve on this thing. So that's the difference. Um, so keep that in mind when you want to talk to each other about each other's work. If you see something that other people can improve on. Also, uh, it's not relevant this week, but when you do post your drawings, what I'll be doing is I'll copy paste them to Photoshop, and then I can draw on top of them to like make corrections. Sometimes if it's like a really long problem, I'll record like a little video recording my screen while I draw and narrate, and then I'll put that on YouTube for you to watch. You know, if it's like a 10-minute explanation that can benefit everybody, I usually make a video of it. Um, and then when I post the drawing back, uh, it's then up to you guys to reattempt the drawing. Because oftentimes, like, I've made a correction drawing. I'm like, here you go. This is how it works. This is how you can fix it. And the student is just like, yeah, cool, thanks. But then the second part is you have to reattempt it to learn what was wrong. So just going forward, it's just if I make correction drawings, make a note to try and reattempt it and to post the correction drawing. So yeah, so that's all you got to worry about from weeks 1 to 6. Week 7 is a break, and then weeks 8 to 13 is going to be all about doing a character design. You're going to be doing like a villain and a hero, or just it could be two heroes, but just two characters that are sort of they look different. Like yeah, like Jackson was talking about Toy Story, like Buzz and Woody, right? Spaceman and a cowboy. One is tall and thin. One is short and fat. One is past. One is present. One is past. One is future. Like two opposing kind of characters. They're both heroes, but they're very visually different. So that's what the character design assignment is going to be about. Yeah. Any questions so far? You guys all good? Sweet.
Yep.
Cool. Alrighty then. If you haven't already, subscribe to the YouTube channel. So when you see the welcome video, just click the welcome video, go to the YouTube page, subscribe, just so you get notifications when I upload. So I've recorded my screen now, and then I'll post this on that YouTube channel, so you can come back to it later on. And yeah, we'll have the next online session. But well, I try to do it every 2 weeks. But if something is like there's a really pressing issue, then we'll do it every week. But I try to like every 2 weeks seems to be good. Um, does this time sort of work for everybody? Like Friday around this time?
It's good for me.
I'm
Generally,
normally like working during the week, so like later at night would probably be better for me, but during the week would be better. But yeah.
so like was today just like a one-off for you, or is this a good time for you usually?
Yeah, I just happened to I've just
Right.
happened to be working both those days over the weekend, so they gave me the Friday off instead. So it's kind of just a lucky coincidence this time.
Sure. Um, let's see. All right, well, let me think. Friday was a coincidence, but for the rest of you, Friday is good. What about Sundays?
It's good for me too.
Yeah, anytime normally around after 5 o'clock,
Right?
like Brisbane time. So, so it'd be what, like 3 o'clock for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, because normally I work like retail. Yay.
Sure. Like, are you like a three like what on a Sunday like 3 p.m. Western time is 5 p.m. Eastern time? Is that sort of
Yeah.
would that normally be good for people?
I work nights mainly on weekends, and during the week I work from 5 to late, usually every weekend. So
Right. But on a Sunday, like a 3,
anytime,
but a 3 p.m. would work.
yeah, it should be fine on
Right.
Sunday.
Again, we'll talk about this in 2 weeks, but just I'll keep that in mind.
Yeah, whichever works out for like everyone, because you
Yeah.
upload these videos anyway, don't you?
Yep.
Yeah, cool.
And maybe I'll change it so other people who couldn't make it will make it and that kind of stuff. So.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Thank you for turning up. Really nice to meet you guys. Yeah, I hope we have a great time during this course.
Me too.
All right. So, all right, guys. I guess we'll end it here, and yeah, catch you guys later.
Awesome. Thanks.
Yeah.
See ya.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.